Well, I bought some books. Let's see what I got. Hi friends, welcome back to Pages in Chaos. And yes, I went on a little shopping spree at the end of August and beginning of September, so why not share with you guys what I got. So first up is actually a pre-order. This is Fearful. This is another novella in the Powerless series, and I did just finish the last of the main books in the series. I did read the first little novella, which was Powerful, and this one seems to be Kit's kind of side story, and it seems to be kind of taking place at the same time as certain events in the last book, Fearless. So I can't wait to pick this up and kind of see the inner workings of some of the characters from that book. So next up are two books that were recommendations. Back in August, I participated in the BookTube Besties virtual reading retreat. They usually do it like twice a year. This year, they only did it once a year in the summer, but as long as I can get in, I always get a spot, and I absolutely love it. It's just a 24-hour reading retreat virtually, and there's this little part where everybody who participates gets to recommend a book. So these two books were recommendations from that reading retreat, and I can't wait to dive in. I just had to buy them. So the first one is called The Tainted Cup. I believe this is actually part of a series, and this just intrigued me so much. So this is a Holmes and Watson style detective duo take the stage in this fantasy with a mystery twist from the Edgar-winning, multiple Hugo-nominated Robert Jackson Bennett. This intrigued me so much because one, the main detective is a woman, and two, it takes place in this magical and fantasy world. And I just absolutely can't wait to dive in to see this kind of take on, like, you know, Sherlock and Holmes. I can't wait, and I hope that it is just as perfect as it sounds, because I would definitely pick up the second book and continue the series. Next up is Before Dorothy. So this was actually so interesting. So this is about Aunt Em's story, and it says, long before Dorothy visits Oz, her Aunt Emily Gale sets off on her own forgettable adventure. I can't wait to see the interpretation and the spin on Aunt M's story. So I had to get this. As a lover of The Wizard of Oz, I'm just so interested to see how this turns out. Next up are books that I got on a random book outlet spree. I was actually looking for a specific book with a specific cover, and I thought I was getting the cover, and I wasn't. But I did see a whole bunch of other books that I was interested in, so I wound up buying those instead. First up is the fifth book in the Pages & Co. middle grade series, and that is the Treehouse Library. I absolutely love this series. It just is so heartwarming. It's about Tilly, who in each book travels into stories and into books, and she goes on a different adventure, and they're uncovering some type of secret with people in charge, and I really don't want to go too much into it because I don't want to spoil it, but I can't wait to pick this one up. I still have to pick up book 4, and then this is book 5, and hopefully I can pick those up very soon. Next up is the third book in the X-Hex Companion series. This is called The Wedding Witch. I really enjoyed the X-Hex and the Kiss Curse. Unfortunately, I got both of those from Book of the Month, so those are in hardcover, but I did see this in paperback, and Book of the Month didn't have it as like an add-on, so I just picked it up from Book Outlet. And this one is about Bowen Penhallow, who I believe is one of the brothers or the cousins of the main male characters in the first two books. And I loved those two. They sounded so adorable, witchy, and, you know, Halloween vibes, things like that. So I am probably going to pick this one up very soon, considering it is already October. Next up is the next book in the James Herriot All Creatures Great and Small series. So I absolutely fell in love with the PBS series that they recreated. There was an original one many years back, and currently they have recreated it. So I just had to pick up his book. So James Herriot was a vet, and these are his autobiographies, and I needed to get this. So this is actually, I believe, book 5 and 6, because I believe there's 8 books total, And in the US, the publications actually combine books. So 1 and 2 is combined and they retitled them. And then 2 and 3 are, 3 and 4 are combined. So I believe this is 5 and 6. And then 7 and 8 are separate books. But I just had to get this because it was on sale and I just absolutely love them. They're so heartwarming and I mean heartbreaking too in some ways because, you know, he tells it like it is. It's his own stories of his own life. But if you enjoy the PBS show, then definitely pick this up because it does read like a story, not like an autobiography. Next up is Legendborn, and this has been on my TBR for so long. This is a YA book that I have seen recommended across all social media. People that I know have recommended me this book, and I had to pick it up. It's the first in a series. So it says some legacies are meant to be broken. After her mother dies in an accident, 16-year-old Bree Matthews wants nothing to do with her family, memories, or childhood home. A residential program for bright high schoolers at UNC Chapel Hill seems like the perfect escape until Bree witnesses a magical attack her very first night on campus. A flying demon feeding on human energies. A secret society, so-called Legendborn students that hunt the creatures down. And a mysterious teenager, Madge, who calls himself a Merlin and who attempts and fails to wipe Bree's memories of everything she saw. I need to pick this up, like ASAP. Enough said. And last up is the graphic novel Crumbs. I believe this is a series. I'm not sure about that, but I have had this on my TBR once again for such a long time. I've seen it being recommended by so many people. So many people have recommended it to me, and this just sounds so great. I can't wait to pick this up. So it says, falling in love just got sweeter. In a very small town, there's an even more unusual bakery with a selection of baked treats handcrafted to help your dreams come true. For Ray, a quiet young woman with special powers of her own, the order is always the same, a hot tea with a delicious side of romance. When Ray meets Lori, the kind barista who aspires to be a professional musician, she gets a real taste of love for the first time. But even with a spark of magic, romance isn't so simple. Both Ray and Lori are chasing their own dreams, and even when Ray starts to see a future, she can't predict her fate with Lori. And this was originally a webtoon that has been published in physical print, and I can't wait to pick this up. So there you have it. That is my book haul from the end of August and beginning of September. Let me know down in the comments. Have you read any of these books? What do you think? Did I make some good choices? And I'd love to hear all your thoughts. And if you're not in the mood to leave me a full-on comment, you're a little shy, but you just want to let me know that you were here for some support, then leave me a shopping bag emoji in the comments. Well, that's all I have for now. Bye.